Hey guys, Brian and Aaron here from 5 to Go. We are back. It is 2020. I know we've been gone from YouTube for about a month, but we wanted to spend some time with family over the holidays back in Virginia, and then we've all been getting sick. It's just been kind of running around the house. You know how it is. It's this time of year. Yep. So we are back, and we have a lot of news. Priority one for 2020 is to get back in an RV as quickly as possible.
Yay!
We've decided that we're going to go with a Class A.
What, Brian?
Big motorhome. So we did the truck and travel trailer.
We did.
Which we enjoyed.
Loved.
But we have a van, and we have a small car that we got when we were looking at Class C's that is flat towable. It's a Ford C-Max, so you can just hook it up to the back of anything that can tow it and off you go.
Yep.
We ran some numbers and kind of looked at things and talked about things, and we figured out that it would actually make more financial sense for us to get a used Class A versus getting rid of one of the vehicles, getting a big truck, and then getting a travel trailer.
Or a fifth wheel.
Or a fifth wheel, which is even more expensive.
Right.
So we're going to go with a Class A motorhome. And before, all of you guys that have seen our
safety video,
Death Trap safety video, where we kind of, poo-pooed all over Class A's and their safety, there will never be a car seat in this Class A.
Nope.
The kids will always ride with Aaron in the van, because we're also going to be, when we're back out on the road, we're going to be traveling differently. Because the first 2 years we were on the road, we actually went around the whole country in less than a year. But this time around, it's more about small living, more efficient living, being in a smaller house. We don't want to do a tiny house thing. We love RVs. So we're going to do an RV, and we're not going to be traveling near as much. We'll use it for smaller trips here and there, but by and large, the focus is downsizing.
Yes.
We have looked at Class C's a lot. Like if you guys have been following us late last year, kind of after the summer last year, we started looking at a lot of Class C's. We were looking at those Class C's for part-time use, using this house as a home base. But after having a lot of discussions about, what we want to do, kind of our priorities in life as a family and all of that, we decided that we wanted to get back in an RV, and Class C's are not going to be big enough for us for full-time living.
And just kind of as a reintroduction, we're not really good campers. We're not sit around the fire people or be like with bugs. We're not. And we might do a little bit more outside. It was really difficult when Ben was little to kind of just be outside and enjoy the outside, because he would just run everywhere. And so we might be able to enjoy the outdoors a bit more this time around, because he's coming up on 4 in April. So things might change a little bit, but by and large, when the night comes, we like to sit in our recliners and watch Netflix and then go to bed. So, play games. It's not, we're not real outdoorsy people. We just play them on YouTube. Yeah,
we're not RVers because we love camping.
No.
We're RVers because
we like tiny living.
We like tiny living.
Yeah.
So we have seen some Class C's that would work, but they're just not comfortable enough in the places they need to be.
And they kind of max out at 35, 36 feet?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, and I also feel like, vertically inside, they tend to be a little smaller, and then the cab is completely unusable, basically.
As a living space, right?
Yeah, because the nice thing about a lot of Class A's is, the front seats will spin around and be part of the living space, so you're not really wasting space.
And then you have those big windows, too, that are kind of part of your living space, so that was very appealing as well. Once we got over the whole thing that you'd mentioned about the safety, and that we knew that we would never put the kids in there while we were moving, it became a kind of game changer for us in terms of looking at those bigger Class A's.
It became really obvious why you see so many retired couples full-timing in Class A's. It's because they're comfortable. They're bigger. They're comfortable. They're more luxurious. And we're not talking a $500,000 diesel pusher or anything like that. No, we're gonna much smaller than that. It's gonna be gas, a lot cheaper. But they're still even pound for pound and price for price. They're more comfortable.
They're more comfortable.
Yeah, shopping out here might be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah, there are a lot of places out here that sell travel trailers and fifth wheels, but not a lot of places that carry a large stock of Class A's or even Class C's, but particularly particularly Class A's.
Yeah, we went to a big show last week up in Denver. We were all excited.
We
got
were so
out there.
excited.
We were ready to film an episode. We were going to introduce all of this and talk about Class A's and all that. And we got to this big, huge show with like hundreds and hundreds of towables and 2 Class A's, like a handful of Class B's, and like 2 Class C's. It's just, we're thinking that it's this part of the country. You know, the trailers and all that, they can be towed around. A lot of people out here have trucks already. Let's talk about what our must-haves are, and then we'll talk about how we're going to do our shopping over the next
Right.
5 or 6 months.
We were originally only looking at bunkhouse models in the Class A's and those big motorhomes because we wanted each child to have their own space. So the littles could share the kind of bunk area because there's usually only 2 there, and then we could put Tara up in the front in one of the like Euro lofts or the beds that kind of what do you call them?
They
They're just
lower down.
motor. They're
Yeah.
like electrical beds that lower down. And they're usually about a queen size. That would also give Tara room to kind of keep her stuff away from the rest of our stuff. She has a lot of stuff.
She will have a lot less stuff.
Ugh. Anyway.
She will have less stuff.
So we were just looking at bunkhouses. They were making things kind of long and all that kind of stuff. And you really only get one layout when you have those bunks. Their bunks are either on this side or they're either on this side, but everything else is the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the manufacturers are so, I'm just going to be mean, they're really uninventive when it comes to bunkhouse layouts
yeah.
in these motorhomes. It's really kind of weird.
And I know that families with little kids are not their demographic. So,
But still.
but I mean,
Yeah.
usually the bunks are a closet
Yeah, the top bunk will like flip up and down and become
and then
a
has a little
closet.
bar. And
Yeah,
so when
it's
you
for
the
the
grandkids.
Yeah.
And I understand that. So we were just looking at those, only seeing a few numbers. Again, same floor plans.
Yeah.
And so when we started kind of just happening to look at other ones, we were like, oh, that's really nice. And oh, I like how the couch does this. And
Yeah.
when
And
they didn't have
another
the bunks.
issue with the bunks, because it's always like the sideways bunks, like in the hallway, stacked up in the hallway. They always, for whatever reason, kind of messed up the living space next to it. Like they made things short
Yeah.
or turned weird.
Or the TV would be in the most stupid location.
We have a spreadsheet where we've been looking at
Yes.
we've been keeping track of which models we've looked at, just looking at floor plans and prices and sizes and all that. And one of my little check boxes is, does this have a stupid TV? And what we mean by stupid TV is if this was the couch in the RV, the TV is here.
Why?
It's here.
Why
I'm
would it
gonna
be there?
I'm gonna sit like this and no, that's a stupid TV.
Yes.
TVs don't belong there. They belong across from the seating. Anyway, since we stopped looking at bunkhouse models, we've seen very few stupid TVs.
Yes.
Because there's not
a weird
Yeah.
extra thing. We had talked to the girls specifically, and they were like, well, but we want to sleep together and we want to like share a space. And I was
Yeah.
like,
hold on.
hold on a minute. Ben can sleep anywhere because he'll fall asleep in our bed if he doesn't have his own bed,
Yeah.
and then we'll just move him to the couch or wherever it may be that we can create
Couch,
for
convert
him.
the dinette.
He is easy because
Yeah.
he's short.
Yeah.
With the girls wanting to share a space, that means that they can both be over the cab, and
Because again, it's like queen size bed.
Yeah.
And they can lay like sideways.
they can lay however they want
Yeah,
because
there's
neither
tons
one
of
of them is super tall, and
And we're not
so
worried about either of them rolling off.
No.
They are both very static sleepers.
Yes.
And if they're laying like, the same direction the RV is, then if they roll, they're going sideways.
right. And those Euro lofts, we'll have to show you one. They have nets on them around the sides, so it still
Yeah.
lets light in, but it keeps them and their things and their
Yeah,
baby
yeah.
dolls and all that stuff up there with them, which is awesome. So once we had the kind of freedom to look at any type rig, we found some ones we liked.
Yes, we
but
have.
we can't
Only-
find them here.
We've only found them online, so we're
Right.
going to figure out how to look at those. We do want to share a lot of these with you. We might do some like virtual tours. So
Is that something that you guys might want to do? Like kind of like Brian will figure out some way to make it so you can watch how we look through things and make
Yeah.
comments. And if that's interesting to you, let us know down in the comments, because we have lots of ideas and we just sit here and we just talk the whole time while we're looking at them anyway.
Right.
So if you'd like to be a part of that, that might be a thing.
Yeah, because it's going to be really, really hard for us to look at Class A's out here.
Yeah, not as
we're not
as much as
surrounded
we
by
were able to.
dealerships.
Yeah.
Like when we were back east, there are dealerships everywhere.
And we could drive
So-
to the Hershey show and see a
Yeah.
bunch of trailers, because it was only 4 hours away. But
Yeah. So anyway, so requirement number one is
that Euro
the
loft.
cab over loft. I think Winnebago calls it a Euro loft. Other places call it a extra bunk or
bed lift or
bed lift,
something.
cab bunk, whatever it is. It's the
bed over the driving.
over the driver and passenger seat.
Yes.
Goes up and down. That's kind of our first requirement.
Yes, which is why we're only looking at kind of the newer
Yeah,
RVs, because the older ones just don't have it.
yeah, we've seen a couple that are older, but I think by and large, it's really like 2014, 15 newer, where you really see them kind of in all of the models because they just kind of throw them in there. So that's the first requirement. And we want like a comfortable living room layout because we were spoiled with the travel trailer we
Yes.
had, where it had opposing slides and living area. So the kitchen was big. There was an island in the middle, plenty of seating on the other side. It was a fantastic layout. I still contend that it is the best bunkhouse travel trailer layout on the market.
What's it called again, Brian?
It is the Grand Design Reflection 312 BHTS.
Check it out.
We have a tour video. You might have seen it. Like 2 million people have. It's
Yeah.
kind of awesome. It's kind of weird too. But so we're kind of spoiled with that layout, and we have seen similar like opposing slide layouts in Class A's, but they are much fewer and far between.
Yeah.
So we're gonna focus on the cab over loft, comfortable living space, because like we said, we're not really camping. This is our house that we move around, right?
Right.
So we're not sitting outside around a fire pit having s'mores every night because we don't like s'mores.
I don't like s'mores.
And we also don't like smelling like smoke every night. We will get a propane fire pit this time around though.
Yes.
But we want comfortable living space, and we would like to have a king bed. Not a hard requirement, but it would be very nice. So it's very high up on the list. Also, a lot of motorhomes that we've seen have 2 full baths. I think it's kind of a waste. We don't have teenagers. There's never going to be like a fight over the shower. So
No.
and we're pretty much resigned to the fact that it's going to have a full bath and a half bath
at
which
least.
is totally fine because Ben is pretty much potty trained now. So we need that extra toilet. So, when he
has
or
to go,
Brooke or
he has
whatever
to
has to
go.
go, they have to go. So
Right.
we can't wait for someone to get out of the bathroom. So bath and a half is going to be fine. I sleep with a CPAP. I need somewhere to put it. A lot of Class A's don't have good nightstand areas, which is really strange. Some of them actually are starting to come up with like a
CPAP in the
CPAP
top.
station up above the bed, and it has a place for the hose to come down.
Yeah.
That might work, or I just might make my own because they almost
Yeah.
always have cabinets up there. I could always drill a hole. in
And
it.
wanting that king size bed takes away a lot of the.
Yeah.
If you had a queen, you would have a nightstand.
A lot of time there's an option. There's a queen with night table things or a king, and it gets rid of those.
Right.
So we'll have to figure out where that goes. We're not buying new, so it's not like we're going to be optioning something out and getting exactly
No.
what we want. So we're going to be kind of stuck with the used market and just finding the one that's closest to our requirements.
Right. We were also looking at the kitchen space and kind of giving it a grade by how much counter space there was, or if there was a place to put the trash, or if there was a convection oven, or what kind of things were going on in the kitchen.
Covers on the sink and
Right.
the stove, yeah.
So when we go in and if we talk about what grade would you give this kitchen, that's kind of what we're talking about. Does it have enough space for us to prepare a meal, for us to store the things that we like to have out? Is there a pantry? How big is the refrigerator? Because in a lot of these Class A's that we've been in, they've had like huge,
like double door, full pull out.
yeah, like house residential refrigerators.
Don't need that.
We don't need that.
We don't use the one that's over there. Like,
No, it's like a frat house in there. It's a bunch of beverages and some condiments, maybe some pickles.
Yeah.
Like we go to the store 2 or 3 times a week anyway,
Yeah.
just because we like to make things when we think of them.
Yeah,
kind
we
of
do.
stuff.
We do kind of like short-term meal plans and keep things flexible. If you're not in the mood for something, just move it back a couple nights. We don't really want to waste the space on a big, huge residential fridge. If it has one and everything else is perfect, then fine, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll deal with it. But another thing too, some of the newer rigs we've seen don't come with ovens, where if you've seen our videos, you know we don't like RV ovens. It's a waste.
Storage for us.
We love the convection microwave ovens. They are perfect. They're bigger than RV propane ovens.
They
cook better. And it takes up the same amount of space as a microwave, which we also use. So it's
and it doesn't use propane.
Yeah. It's not a unitasker. So some of the ones where they don't include the oven, they'll actually just have drawers down there, and they'll either just have like a gas cooktop, or they'll have an induction cooktop, which is even cooler,
So nice.
especially with young kids.
Yes.
So we don't have a long list of requirements. It's more about, we've been in a lot of RVs. We've spent a lot of time in RVs, and we know what we like. Yeah, we do. We love RVs. We have so many tour videos. You guys know. But we'll know it when we go into it, right? And we've been looking at a lot of RVs online, and I think there's maybe 2 or 3 floor plans we've seen where we're like, ooh, I like that one.
Ooh,
a lot of them we're just like flip, because you look at
Same
it.
stuff, different day.
Stupid TV or 2 full baths that take up a lot of space instead of having, closets or whatever. So that's going to be this channel for probably the next 6 months or so. We're going to be looking at a lot of Class A's. We're also going to do some other kind of fun stuff. We're going to introduce some more kind of like daily life stuff. Also, I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. We have not seen it yet, but the Jeff Goldblum show on Disney Plus, the World According to Jeff Goldblum, we've been enjoying that series, but we stopped right before he did the RV episode.
Yeah.
I have heard nothing about it. We haven't seen it, but I'm thinking we're gonna do like a watch along. Right, we're going to do like an RVers react to Jeff Goldblum's RV episode or whatever. So stay tuned for that. I think that'll be kind of fun.
Right.
If you like my shirt, they're for sale right here, down at the bottom of the video.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, they're right below the video. We have a little carousel of shirts if you're on the YouTube webpage.
Brian made this.
Yeah, I designed this. We have a couple others in there, so go check those out if you're interested. We also have a website, 5togo.com. Has a lot of stuff on there, a lot of how-to stuff on there. We also have a Patreon page if you're interested. Totally optional, so don't feel pressured.
Nope.
Don't feel bad. If you want to have a little bit more of an inside view of how we do things, or
ask us questions directly.
Yeah. We do live streams. We try to do them every 2 or 3 weeks, at least once a month. A lot of back and forth with people in our 5to Go family. So if you're interested in that, check it out, patreon.com/5togo.
You will get to know things before anybody else does.
Yeah.
Because
there's
we
actually
share them
there's
real
more
time.
news there than we've shared in this video. So go check it out. Yeah. So that's it. So we're going to spend a lot of time looking at Class A's. Let us know if you want us to do these virtual tours. It's not going to be quite like our other tours where I'm in like filming Aaron walking around and all that, but we're still going to like tear these things apart.
Yeah.
Right.
Alrighty. So thanks for being here. Love all of you new people and all of you who have been with us for the whole ride.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us all the things. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye, guys.